We got a clip here from Trigonometry on why people hate Jews, the core of anti-Semitism. I'm Tal the Traveling Clad, your sweet Zionist white colonizing prince, coming to you live from the United States. Let's take a look.
It's a question I really wanted to ask you, because I think we've asked it of a number of people, both privately and publicly, and I never get a satisfying answer to it. Why do people hate Jews?
Yeah, so I wrote a book with a prominent Jewish writer, Rabbi Joseph Telushkin, many years ago. The third edition is coming out right now because of October 7th, called Why the Jews? And the reason we wrote it is that virtually everything written on it is wrong, in my opinion. So I'm really happy you asked me, and I'm really happy. I might give you an answer that's somewhat satisfying.
I hope so. And sorry, just to add, the reason I asked it partly is what you just said about the Jews having been involved in the various isms.
Right.
This is a theme that I see a lot of Jew haters use.
Yes.
But there are others, many, many others.
Right. By the way, I don't like a lot of these Jews either, but I'm not a Jew hater. No. There's a Jew not liker is not the same as a Jew hater. So I'll answer your question after I...
This is a very good line by Dennis Prager. There's a lot of Jews I don't like. I don't hate them, but there's a lot of Jews that I do not like.
Make the point about that.
Please.
Jew hatred is unique. It's the only ethnic or religious hatred that is exterminationist. Jew haters want to exterminate the Jews. 2,000 years ago, the rabbis wrote, which is said to this day by every Jew who has a Passover Seder, it's in the Haggadah, the Passover Seder liturgy. I'm debating, should I say it in Hebrew?
Or
just English?
English, I think.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely going to say it in English.
Okay.
But I don't know if it's worth it. I rarely do, so I won't bother with the Hebrew. In every generation, someone arises, or literally they arise, to annihilate us. It's a very rare Hebrew word, but to annihilate, to end us, literally. This is a very interesting thing. The Brits and the Irish hated each other for a while. Germans and Poles hated each other. You name it. Russians and Ukrainians, whatever it might be. But only to this day, to Hamas, from Hitler to Hamas and before, Jew hatred is annihilationist. The Jewish people must be exterminated. It's unique. So that just establishes its uniqueness. So if there are non-Jews annoyed with Jews' activism in left-wing causes, I share that annoyance. But they're not annoyed. I don't hate Jews for that. I hate those people who mislead people. I hate Trotsky. Okay, I do. I hate his guts. But I'm not a Jew hater. I hate Trotsky. I feel that way about George Soros. Okay, but does it lead me to Jew hatred? That's what. If every Jew were saintly, Jews would still be hated.
True.
It's so. Here is this is back to your question.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to jump in here, and I think this is a great clip, and I recommend everybody go and watch it. Yesterday on my Discord server, which you should join, is absolutely free. I had two sweet Discord members try to convince me of a solution to the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. It was a creative idea of creating like another Jewish state in the West Bank. I don't want to get into it. But essentially, it was all in hopes that the Jew hatred, the anti-Semitism, and the irrational condemnation of Israel at the UN would end, because it would be like a loophole, a legal loophole. And I told them, quite frankly, I was like, are you guys okay 100%? Are you guys aware of why there's an irrational hate and condemnation of Israel in the UN and around the world? It's not because we're not following the rules. I mean, we're following and breaking as many rules as any other nation at any one time. We're probably doing a way better job than 99% of nations on planet Earth, given the circumstances of the neighborhood we live in and the circumstances of our founding. But we're condemned the most out of any other nation on planet Earth. Does that seem rational to you? Sorry, good sirs. Does that seem like a rational thing? If every single Jew today were to save a Palestinian, save a puppy, save a manatee, and bring one endangered species back to life, do you think that they still wouldn't want to kill us? That they still wouldn't blame us for the root of all evil? I'm a Mizrahi Jew. I'm an Arab Jew, and I still get the full brunt of the anti-Semitism. It's not... I'm not saved from it. I'm not saved. None of my peers are saved from it. Neither was my grandma, nor my mother. A third generation here, being bombed by the same terrorist groups. I never served in the army. I'm a fucking journalist, man. I report on the news. I'm a world traveler. I wasn't spared. I wasn't saved. I wasn't offered any rights like those innocent Palestinian journalists are, or all those women and children that fight for Hamas that are not part of Hamas, that are not Hamas. Ladies and gentlemen, Jew hatred and anti-Semitism is irrational. So trying to find a rational solution to it is irrational. You got to be a little crazy. You got to be a little irrational. What do I suggest? Yeah? And I'm sure Dennis Prager has a better way of doing this because he's more educated than me. But maybe, just maybe, somebody like me, a little fucking brown idiot, can come up with a solution out of the box that we haven't tried yet. I say Jews go on the offense. We're dealing with a unique predator today, which is the Arab Muslim. They don't think rationally because their entire society is colonized. They all hate each other from the inside, both religiously and ethnically. And they don't recognize each other as such while recognizing each other as such. I know that's confusing, but try to follow my nuance here. Arabs hate each other because they're not Arab enough or too Arab. And Muslims hate each other because they're not Muslim enough or because they're too Muslim. And all those groups don't mesh. The only thing we need to do to fight the anti-Semitism on their side is to call out how much they suck. If we, Jews, go on the offensive and start attacking them for the shortcomings in their society, maybe, and I'm just saying maybe, there's not a guarantee here. It's an attempt. I'm trying something new. Maybe, just maybe, we'll be able to crack the code. Because when you realize yourself how much of a piece of shit you're being, how much of a dipshit you're being to yourself and the world around you, and when it finally dawns upon you that your whole thing is futile, your whole meaning of life is futile, everything you do is a failure, and I say this generally to the Arab Islamic world at the moment, and that you're capable of greatness by just being a better person. Maybe looking at your Jewish neighbors for a second and trying to see, hey, maybe I could be like them. Or maybe better, I could work with them because their hand is outstretched to help me up. Maybe, just maybe, we can make a change. Now, you might say to me in the comments, Tal, you're being too optimistic. And you know what, friend, Habibi, I'm with you. Maybe I'm being too optimistic, but God damn it, am I going to try. I love you guys long time. I wish you a Shabbat Shalom, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye, Klats. If you believe in my content and want to support me, just know your help is needed. There's a bunch of great ways to support me, being PayPal, Buy Me a Coffee, or joining my Patreon community down below. Patreon is the best way to support my channel, and you'll get a bunch of cool perks depending on what tier you join. Another great way to support me is by buying my merchandise on thetravelingclat.com. I regularly drop new merch designs like this beautiful hat, or this amazing shirt, where you can support the channel and get something cool for yourself. I also have an amazing Discord community with people from all over the world. Thank you so much for your support.